what I've taken from today is that, and yesterday, is that we're on this journey. Actually, we should feel good about ourselves because there's an awful lot been achieved. But I think we've very honestly flushed out a few things that do need to be improved, not something we should be down about. It's a journey of innovation, and that has its ups and its downs and steps we have to go over. But if we look at some of those things we need to do next to help us on our BIM journey, perhaps each of you could just share with us what would you highlight as something that you think we should next focus on to help us take our journey to full BIM level 2. I don't mind who starts.
I can honestly say, as part of our own organisation, I often said if I could convince the people within our own organisation about the transition required by the time I got to industry, my work would be done. I think it's important to let people within the wider team know that you're making progress, that it is possible. Some of the things that helped us was, seeing other people being able to upskill to obtain a new qualification. Some of the awards we won, the accreditation, certification, but also I would say in terms of the new work wins and seeing new people join the company. So it was a positive thing happening around them, and we say, well, look, if we keep doing it, we'll get some more of that. So.
Excellent, thank you. Who would like to go next?
I guess I don't want to sound too obvious, I guess, as a geologist, and I know I mentioned it in part of my presentation, but I'd like to see a bit more awareness as to how important ground conditions are in all developments, and for those to be thought about at the very early stage of development. And the geotechnical engineers can be in part of the design process early to warn of any constraints, any risks. The geotechnical data will always be there in the model. It can be revisited, the ground model. There can be new information, new surveys to refine the ground model even further, and that'll have value beyond site investigation. It's also throughout the operational life of the asset, whatever it is, be it a building or a road. And instead of needing buildings are extended all the time, roads have new routes or whatever, you don't have to start from scratch looking for the information if it resides there. So that would be, I'd like to do that, raise more awareness on that.
Excellent, and I would certainly sign
you would,
up
of course.
for that.
I would say that perhaps there needs to be a little bit more honesty about people's capabilities and their understanding of where they are, because the industry is maturing right now. I think now is the time to say, actually, I haven't got the skills yet. I'm not able to. What we see are people, when they're asked a question, because it's related to commercial issues, obviously, can you do? Their immediate answer is, yes, I invented it. And so what we see is clients that don't really get what BIM is. A lot of people don't really understand what it is. They think it's 3D modelling and that's the be-all and end-all. And that's driven by other people that aren't quite there yet on the journey, perhaps, and saying, this is what it is, isn't it fantastic? And they spin around a model and say, yeah, that is great. But it's not all about that. So I think perhaps if the industry was a little bit more honest with where it was, then more people are here at this moment in time to help them, because in another 5 years, if you've kind of blagged your way for the last 5 years and not taken the opportunity to say, actually, I don't quite understand this bit, then you're going to be really exposed. But now everyone is in quite a supportive mode. I think we should all try and take advantage of that.
Okay, thank you.
I think for me, I speak on behalf of the manufacturers and obviously the manufacturers of products. I think there is I said that there's a big gap between the early adopters and the innovators and the rest of the industry, and I think that is the biggest challenge, I think, to get the BIM level 2 as business as usual for the rest of the industry. Because if we don't do it, and we had a recently meeting with BIM Forum 2, and I would say probably 80% of manufacturers are not there. And the issue with that would be is they will be confused. They won't be able to provide you the information you need. They wouldn't know how to provide the information, what kind of information, what is the digital information. And I think that can fall down, and I think that could be a massive issue. So I think the message is, let's get the rest of the industry on board with BIM level 2.
Thank you. Some comments, thoughts from the audience? it has been a full-on 2 days. But Mervyn, fantastic.
I think two questions, if I may, just as there's a gap. But, just taking what you were saying about BIM and the problem with the understanding of 3D modelling, we still haven't got away from it. Do you think it's time we matured and just called it IM, information management, or information management?
I think that's a really good point. I think that the term BIM has been so used and abused now. It kind of means too many things for it to mean one thing. People talk about BIM compliance. I've got a BIM license. I'm at BIM this level, that level. It means far too much. I think you're right. I think in stepping away from the term BIM almost and going to digital built Britain, I think is a good move. I think there almost needs to be different definitions within BIM, and using IM is probably a good thing because it will start to get you away from those 3D models. Yeah, good.
You think that we had to say I'm level 2?
Yes.
I mean, if I can add something onto that.
Yeah.
I just said add something onto that. The way we got around it, because we had the same issue with initially called BIM objects. Obviously, our marketing were all over it, and the way we got around it, we call it digital asset management, basically.
The other one was Ruth, really, about more of a technical question about the geotechnics, because we actually had software doing this a long time ago. Just for my own knowledge, is what is the percentage difference between what the model is telling you is the raised material against what was actually raised clean?
Just to repeat the last sentence, what was the model telling you in terms of?
If you're doing your mass haul diagrams looking at raised materials and
Okay.
material type and use, what is the difference between the theoretical, the virtual, and the actual?
Well, I suppose personally, in terms of using the model and to extract the information, personally myself, I haven't the experience of we're currently working on a project, and I haven't seen the other end of it yet, because it's my personal first project, so I can't answer that, I suppose, because we don't have the result as such yet.
No, it wasn't meant to be a trick question.
Oh no, I understand that.
When we did it, when we used to do this a long time
I think one of the things,
it's
Mervyn,
always about it, and I did add the word clean, it's how much material you can raise that is usable. It's
Oh,
clean,
okay, yeah.
rather than
Well,
left at the interface.
I suppose a lot of that as well is the testing that's going on, and how is the material classified as well. So it's not just the volume estimate; it's the properties of the material as well.
Indeed. Thanks very much.
Oh, it's okay.
Anything else? Or are you all ready to get out there and get some fresh air? The sun is shining, the Innovation Park awaits, the amazing E4 house beckons you. So I think I will wrap up, and I won't do a great big long summing up speech. I can see you once again sighing a huge sigh of relief. But I think you must admit, over the 2 days, we've had speakers from just about every bit of the spectrum, from clients, government and private sector, designers, constructors, manufacturers, suppliers of innovation and solutions. And I think we have taken the lid off and had a pretty honest debate about where we are. And that's healthy, because there's no point kidding yourself and putting your head in the sand. But at the same time, I am perhaps naturally an optimist and half full, but I actually love to see all of those practical examples of where companies and clients are getting on with it and improving continuously. So I think we should go away, for once, something that we don't like doing, patting ourselves on the back a little bit and going, we're getting on with this, we are making a difference, this is innovation in process. And I think we should feel good about ourselves, actually. It's an important thing, BIM. It's important for our industry and for our clients and for society. And I think we should go away feeling a bit uplifted and feeling good about it. So thank you all very much for coming. Thank you to all of our speakers, to our sponsors, and to the BRE conferences team who have laid all of this on. And please have a safe journey home, but do stay and enjoy the Innovation Park.